lot of you will be aware of my obsession with Ysera Unleashed. This is a card that I crafted in golden form recently and featured it in a Jade Druid deck on wild mode, and I had an awful lot of fun with it. So why not feature it in standard? So thank you to Nate Wolf for this standard mode Quest Druid deck. Nate, I don't think was the creator of the deck, but he did do some research and he found this deck for me. So I'm going to attribute this deck to Nate Wolf. So this will now be known as the Nate Wolf Quest Druid deck. So let's have a look at this deck. Yes, it plays the quest, obviously. And I guess the strategy is you do nothing for the first few turns in order to complete the quest. Once you complete the quest, your hero power is passive and your choose one cards do have both effects combined. So for example, Oasis Surges become 5/5s with Rush. Starfall does 5 damage to a minion and 2 damage to the rest of the board. Hidden Oasis heals you and gives you a taunt. Nourish draws cards and gives you ramp. So you take advantage of that and go through the remainder of the game. But if you do need further value, Ysera Unleashed is indeed in this deck and will shuffle those dream portals into your deck. And then you can utilise cards like Nourish or Breath of Dreams in order to facilitate card draw and hopefully start drawing those portals and putting dragons onto the board and then allowing you to push to win the game. So let's start out against a rogue. Now, I don't play a lot of standard, so I'm slightly clueless. But this quest, it does seem rather slow, and if you're going up against a hyper-aggressive deck, I can certainly see a situation where within 4 turns of us doing nothing, they flood the board, push a lot of damage face, and then you can't recover. Because you then rely on cards like Starfall to clear the board as soon as you complete the quest. You're relying on cards like Oasis Surger to be able to rush into big threats. Question is that enough? Now our opponent here is not pushing any exceptional amounts of damage. His turns feel quite normal, if not quite slow. I mean, we're kind of keeping pace with him in terms of what we're doing now. I mean, we're able to gain some armor. And very soon, our quest will be complete, and we can start taking charge of the board. So that's not too bad. We actually remove a minion there and complete the quest. Yeah, that didn't feel too bad. Or suddenly didn't feel anywhere near as bad as it could have been.
What shall we hunt?
Okay, how interesting. Alright, he's going super wide here. And there's no Starfall available to us. So we're going to have to settle for double Wrath. Yeah, this is fine. So double Oasis Surger available to us. Feels pretty good.
Sorry, dearie.
Oh, and look, there's a Starfall. I'll take that.
How about a new eye? How about a new eye?
Now, at least he couldn't take advantage of the rush effects there. He just wants big stats on the board. So, Starfall here, I think is fine. And we get to cheat out those big taunts. Now, what will he invest to clear them? That's the question. And I'm happy that he's making this kind of investment now. Because these are all spells that he won't be able to use on my other big threats.
Impressively done.
And speaking of big threats, I'll take another one. Yeah. 8 health taunt. How did you get through that? Well, that can certainly give him a tool. Yeah. Sap. That's actually pretty painful for us.
Delightful.
I mean, we can play it again. But is that what we want to do?
Done.
Instead, maybe we focus on the Oasis Surges. Because I think he's expecting me to play it again. And then he'd probably find another way to get through it. So we're not going to humour him. Instead, we are going to push with these Oasis Surges. There are 4 of them on the board now.
Life and hope of Will Fight.
And Dragon Queen, AcQGv, that may be too late for him. Those 2 dragons that he's got need to have some kind of impact. Vendetta? Okay, it's pretty good.
This timeline amuses me. I will be your doom. Ready?
Thank you for giving me a poisonous minion. That's very generous of you. We don't have any kind of lethal here that I can spot. So we kill off AcQGv, that feels bad for him. There is an AoE death rattle in play. And because we don't have lethal, I still want to trade here. I know that feels bad. Because I could have pushed. I could have pushed 22 to the face.
We must stop this corruption.
Okay, more Oasis Surges on the board. Why not?
Life and hope of Will Fight.
Oh, here we go again. What do you get?
Your feeble magic amuses me.
Oh, you actually got a taunt. Fancy that. But, yeah, I don't think this is going to be enough. Because we actually have a crowd roaster in hand. I'd almost forgotten there for a moment. So, a bit disappointing there. that Ysera Unleashed was not needed. Okay, this next game is against a rogue, again, and we are once again just doing nothing. But the quest is nearly complete, and we do have Oasis Surger in hand. That's going to be pretty useful. And meanwhile, the rogue has not developed anything either. So we're both happy to play that slow game. Although Ferocious Howl here on 4 does seem reasonable. It's card draw, it's armour. I mean, it's more than what he did on his turn 4, right? So comparatively, we came off better. So is he actually going to do nothing again?
Delightful.
He's actually doing nothing. Wow. We are the ones with the initiative here. Which is pretty scary when you think about it. We're meant to be the ultra slow deck that takes our time with things and reacts to what he does. Yet he's being slower than us. So I'll take the initiative. I'll put those Oasis Surges onto the board. It sounds like he has hand. Okay, I was going to say a hand full of reactive cards. He was looking for an opportunity to get the Apothecary down, and he found it.
Behold, jewels of the sun.
So I think my response is just to play stuff, really. And next turn we have the potential for Ysera Unleashed.
Dark in the skies, my nightmare reigns.
Okay, he doesn't get much value on Galacrond. And was that his best play? Was there nothing else he could have done? I'm curious about his hand. Honestly, it's been quite interesting. Okay, let's proc the Death Rattle. Just in case he finds a way to get more value out of that.
Power takes many.
And for now, we will keep that stealthed. I think it is useful with stealth. Keeper of the Grove. I should probably pick the Ancient of War, but
Behold, jewels of the sun.
Keeper of the Grove could actually come in handy. And our friend there, Consti the Pro, quite excited to see Ysera.
You are too late. His return is nigh.
Well, that was pretty good for him.
Feel of wind in me sails.
Wait for me!
But it's still not good enough for him. Because look at all this value that's sitting in our hand. The question is, what do we want to develop here? Is it worth starfalling that board?
What was I thinking of again?
Or
My dream is your
we just play Ysera and we trade. Alright, there's a 4/12 dragon on the board. You need to deal with that. And we can actually play her again. That in itself is pretty scary. Okay, he finally plays Togwaggle. But next turn, maybe we get lucky.
Impressively
And
done.
maybe we draw some of those portals. And we get lucky. Fantastic. What do we get? That's a little rubbish.
That was frightening.
Yeah, it was frightening. Try again. And we actually have spell power here. That's pretty cool.
My dream is yours.
Alright, so we haven't got very lucky so far with the portals. Let's try again.
Sleep now.
Alright, still not lucky. But look, we do have Nourish in hand. And notice that one Ysera is golden and one is not. It's quite disappointing. They should both be golden. Wow. 3 cards that cost 0. Pretty good for him. As we're both swinging back and forth for control of this board. So next turn, see if we can get a portal in play. If not, how do I want to go about this? Wow, he saps.
Thank you, dear.
And I'm actually quite thankful. I'm genuinely thankful. That was not a sarcastic emote. I'm genuinely thankful. Alright, here come the portals. Not bad at all.
Looks like I'm here just in time.
So, on average, can we conclude that dragons are pretty decent?
My dream is your night.
And we do it again. The only problem, of course, is we have this rather full board. So, we need to make room.
Sleep now.
And the only way we make room is by trading.
You do you know.
Can't go face. Alright, deal with that board. Deal with those dragons. If you want to sap Ysera again, feel free to do so. I'll just play her again. Or, even better, if you have a way of actually clearing this board, please do so. Because there are more portals in my deck that need space on the board. Interesting. Targets the 12 health minion. Continues to target Sarah. Oh, Earthquake! That was a really good pickup for him. But the problem is, look, I'm just going to keep putting stuff on the board. That's a Malagos. Huh.
Your composure is commendable.
I think we're being complimented here by our opponents. I think he's genuinely impressed. Alright. We get lucky again. Another portal. Ooh. Wow. Look at the value here. Value is incredible. Let's try again. Another portal.
You think this is your time? It is mine.
Oh my god.
Be reborn in the curse.
I actually have double Deathwing on the board. I don't care about burning things here. I mean, look. We are in such a good position, honestly. If he runs Vanish, that would be pretty impressive.
Your wish is my suggestion.
But it looks like he's going to get a Twisting Nether here. Which, do you know what? I'm actually fine with. Because look, the portals are still in play.
In time, all things are possible.
Ha! Get another Deathwing!
A simple spell should do.
Looks like I'm here just in time.
So I think, based on these last few turns, we can absolutely confirm that the value of dragons from the portals is just insane. Absolutely insane. I'm trying to damage myself so I can summon a 6/6. Fortunately, Blizzard have made it such that we can't swipe our own face. Alright. Deal with that board. Find another Twisting Nether. If you can. And all credit to my opponent for staying in this game.
Nothing. Power.
Yeah. So a friend of mine also has a golden Ysera.
Power.
Pretty good. And yeah, we have played her 3 times. And a bit of hype for this video, of course.
Darkness wanes.
Yeah, and I agree, Toasty. Ysera, she is too nice. Okay, so Quest Druid with Ysera Unleashed. That last game was absolutely nuts. We played Ysera Unleashed 3 times because my opponent thought he had to sap her. But, of course, perhaps not thinking ahead in regards to the stream of dragons that would put themselves onto the board. Maybe it would have been better not to have sapped her and then try to find a way to deal with Ysera, 4 attack, 12 health. The 12 health is really annoying to deal with, but the 4 attack isn't necessarily the worst thing in the world to have to take. It's worse, I think, to sap her and then have her replayed, and then for her to start summoning Deathwings onto the board, which is what we saw there. And I still can't believe the incredible dragon value that we got from those portals. It was truly awe-inspiring. So I love this deck. This will be one of my go-to decks on Standard. I don't think it is what you'd call a tier 1 deck, but it's still super fun. I mean, there are games where you just do not need Ysera, right? As you saw, Oasis Surgers on the board can just outright win you the game. But the reason I say I don't think it's tier 1 is because I think those initial few turns where you're trying to complete the quest, but you're not doing anything, where you're not developing anything, I just feel that those turns are a tad too slow, and against incredibly aggressive opponents, I feel that maybe being slow on those turns can be something that loses you the game. But then again, I am not very experienced at Standard, so I really can't pass comment with too much validity. So maybe those of you that do play Standard can correct me there and advise me on whether this is a good deck or not to be laddering with. So, thank you very much for joining me, everyone, and I will see you all again very soon for more Standard or One Mode fun.